What's up?
Hi.
Welcome. Usually how we start the podcast is, what's your name? What's your name? How many kids do you have? And what do you do for a living?
All right. My name is Bianca. I have one daughter named Summer, and I'm a real estate agent.
Cool. How long have you been a realtor for?
Say it's going to be 8 years now.
That's long.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that long. I guess that's what happens with COVID and all that.
I know. Yeah. You kind of like lose track of people and, you know.
So before that, I know you had a restaurant kind of. Can you tell me about that? I remember those days.
Yeah. I know, because I used to bring cookies and stuff like that to the gym. So probably had no business having a restaurant. I think I was 23. I had just come back from traveling Asia, and I'd always loved like juices and smoothies and like healthy food. And I'd actually like set up at some farmers markets when I was like 18, 19. It was never lucrative though. It was like, I was pretty much paying to have like a stand there.
Yeah.
And then when I got back from traveling, I just thought, I'd been to so many like juice bars there. I had a lot of ideas. So I decided to I opened a place on Broadview. And I think my budget was like, I don't know, $5,000 or something to like rent it. I had no idea what I was doing. And so I got some friends, we painted the whole space. We did like a mural wall. We got like picnic benches in there, and it was great. It's a lot of work, like restaurants.
Was rent expensive?
Yeah, I think it was like, even now looking back, like it was expensive for then. And that was almost 10 years ago.
How much was it?
I think it was like $3,500.
And then you had like, I remember the whole thing. It was really well done.
Yeah, it was called Good Things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why'd you stop?
I think it's just like such a grind, and I wasn't making any money. That's just the truth. Like the wages were so high. Even then they were like $16, and then we had a baker, and she wanted obviously more money. And then the rent was high. It just wasn't enough to live, basically.
Got it.
Yeah. And it was, I was so young. I didn't have like a business plan or anything. I kind of just winged it. So, it just wasn't,
Was it hard to pull out of it?
It wasn't, because the owner of the building actually wanted to take over the space. Okay. So I kind of just like, to be honest, just left one day, and that was it.
And you took your coffee machines and everything?
Yeah. And which are so expensive, by the way. I think it was like, we rented it. It was like $30,000. Like, it's just crazy. I don't know how any of these places, the markup on coffee is crazy. Like, I think it was, I started to know all these things, obviously, because we served coffee. It's like 30 cents maybe, and you buy it for $6.
Yeah.
But everything else, the wages, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. You can't survive with just coffee.
No. And we tried to cater and do some of that, to like expand and make more money. But even that, like the margins are so tight.
Yeah.
So
at least you got out before COVID. I
know. Yeah. That was like such a blessing. I think, because I wrote my real estate license right before that happened.
And influenced by your mom?
Like she would love if I said that. I think that you never want to do what your parents do.
Okay.
And I feel like seeing her, like it wasn't fun to go to open houses as a kid. On the weekends, that's what I would do. I would love, because there's like a sign-in sheet, and I would always like sign my name, and I thought that was so cool. Or I'd like pretend I was the agent if she was like in the bathroom or something. But no, actually, I think when I was renovating the space, I was kind of like, oh, like it'd be so fun to flip houses. Again, I'm like 24. I have no idea what that even would entail. Like now I know it's so much money and work. Yeah. But my boyfriend at the time, he was writing his real estate license, and I feel like I almost feel like he kind of convinced me, or his mom, that I should get into it. And I wrote it, and I ended up working with somebody who like I feel like if you start off with somebody that's super solid in the industry that can really help you, she was an incredible resource for me, and I was there for a while. I was very, very lucky, because during COVID, things went crazy. Yeah. Right. So it was like I had gotten licensed for like maybe a year, 16 months. And then the market just went off.
True.
Yeah.
How is it now?
It's like, I feel like if you have a good house in a good area and it has everything, you're totally set. I just think people's expectations now are a little bit, they have to be tapered from what it was before. If you see your neighbor house that sold like a couple of years, or in COVID, let's just say now 3 years ago or 4 years ago, sold for something crazy, you want that.
Got
And
it.
then if you can't get it, you're, super bummed.
How is it being a realtor while having like a child? Because I felt like when I was in real estate, you were on call.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot that you did that. And you were commercial, right?
No, I was residential.
Residential. Okay, yes. And do you still have your license?
No.
So you got rid of it. You didn't park it or anything.
No, I parked it for a little bit, and then I just said, "I'm not." You have to pay to get it parked?
Yeah.
Then no, it's not parked.
Also because you have to pay like insurance now. And it
I was over it. The
Yeah.
fees were so much. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore.
But it was so much easier when we got it because it was like,
Yeah.
now
it
it's
was.
like
Now,
like a full course
or like,
at Humber.
Yeah.
So we really lucked out in
Yeah.
that. I would say it's for me been the best job I could have because I can stay home with her.
Wow.
And that's been like so important for me to be home with her. So I feel like when my mom was doing it, I don't think it was a great career because it was evenings, weekends, again, on call. Now I can write an offer from my bedroom.
But what about the people who always want to see 1,000 places?
I know. I've been really lucky, I would say, with my clients because I think I did the grind before I had her.
Okay.
And I built up a client base. So now I don't have a lot of my clients, they want to see a number of houses, but it's not like I'm not doing a lot of leases.
Okay.
Leases are the hustle, right?
All
because people want to see and it's not even they want to see, they offer on places, they don't get it. They have to see, 5 other ones because landlords are, it's very heavily swayed to protect tenants.
Okay.
So for landlords, they're more discerning of who they're going to have. Yeah. So, but I think I just did that before I had her. Like for a good 5 years, it was such a grind. Like I was writing offers at birthday parties, and I was like, bring my laptops to dinner. And if I was on vacation, like the whole vacation would be like me doing deals or talking to clients. But now I feel like I've just found this like really good balance with my clients, and also my mom's an agent, so she can help if she needs to show, and my partner's an agent, so he can do that.
Your partner's an agent?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So he does commercial.
Oh, that's sweet. And then you might have to help grandma out finding a place.
I love that grip.
So, but what about your friend? Is it a team you guys have?
So we were a team.
Okay.
Yeah. I did have a team, Johnson Vine. I was working with Loren, and she is one of my friends. And we basically were on this other team together, and we had so many, when you just click with somebody, it's like a lost soul. Like I feel like she was like a sister of mine in the past or something.
Cool.
And we created Johnson Vine, and it was going great. And then I feel like after I had a child, you're everything changes, your perspective on things, what you're kind of willing to do for the job. And I feel like for that, it just made sense for us to kind of go on our own.
Sure. And
now we're fully separate. It's just that I get more time with Summer because when you were with a team, you have to do splits, right? You have to split
showings,
your commission.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So you make less money, but you have to do more volume.
Fair enough.
So it just made sense. I want to spend more time with Summer, and it is really important. So I can focus on those clients, and I don't have to try to get, twice the amount
got it
of business. So
how do they come to you?
A lot, mostly referrals.
Cool. That's good.
I know. And it's great. It's it's even now, we're just chatting, and he's like, oh, I was getting a haircut the other day, and, he was like, oh, I'm looking for a place. And I just feel like if you're open about what you do and you're good at what you do, then, they come to you. I've been really lucky in life. I feel like I've just landed a lot of, good people
who are buying and not leasing.
Yeah, the leases. I mean, I did that. I remember my first deal was a basement apartment, and I made $400. You have to do that. It's just part of it.
Yeah.
I think also my mom always laughs at me because when she was doing it, houses were only $100,000.
Yeah.
Right. And so her commission was only $4,000.
I see.
And so she would have to do so many deals. Whereas for our generation, since houses are so expensive, the commission's so much bigger. You don't need to hustle that. You need to hustle, but you don't need to do, 100 transactions or something a year.
Couple houses a year.
And that's why a lot of people, you'll see a lot of older agents that are they're 80 and they're still doing it because they need one sale.
Yeah. The money's good.
Yes. Yes. So why did you just feel it was too much of a grind?
I can't be on call. I'm
Really?
like structure.
Right.
And And you know what? It was so dirty. I remember my first deal, I cried because like I put the offer together. It was amazing, amazing person. And they're just sketchy. The other agent was so sketch, didn't want to even look at the offer after they said, yeah, go show it. I remember coming home and like crying, and I was going to go on vacation and like have to find this guy a place. And it was like, this is not what I want to do. And when I was in it in 2017, there was lineups to go see the same unit and like bidding wars. And it was just like, I did so much work, and I was such a nice guy where even if somebody had an agreement with me and they found something on their own, I didn't have it in me to be like, fuck you, you owe me some money.
I know.
And that was a lot of it.
Oh, that's happened to me. Yeah. It's like, it stings, and it's hard not to get emotional about it.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is too, is like money is so emotional for people.
Yeah.
You know, this is the biggest purchase they'll ever make in their life. And so all sorts of things come out, you know, once you're in that like high tense situation, either when they're selling their house that they've like loved and cared for, you know, sometimes for 50 years, like they're very attached. They've seen their kids grow up through this house. And also it's painful to know that they're, you know, moving into like a smaller house, maybe a retirement center, you know, they get very emotional. And then on the opposite side, no one feels, this is what I feel like about real estate, is that no one thinks it's a fair exchange. No. Like nobody buys a house for $1.5 million and thinks, I'm not going to own this house for 30 years. I'm going to pay the bank like $75,000 in interest a year. And this is a fair deal. No one thinks that, you know? So I feel like people get really emotional and then they take it out on the agents.
Yeah.
You know?
I hear you.
So.
And I think for me as well, like, they don't know what they want. And I know they don't want it, but they still want to see the units.
I know that's like the worst part is when they say, oh, I want, you know, a parking spot and I want like minimum this square footage and this view. And then they're sending me stuff, or when it's like way out of their budget, you know, like their budget is like 1.3 and they're sending me like 1.8 houses. They're like, I just want to see it. And I'm like, well, this is also my time, you know?
Or they're sending you Kijiji ads. Like, I just stop it. Either you look or I will look.
I know. And that's, you know what I will say is that I think the consumer doesn't fully understand how it works too. Because a lot of the times I would get people that had like never bought before and they're like, do I pay the commission? Do they pay the commission? You know, how does it work?
That's true.
And that's also why I feel like sometimes they're like, oh, I'll just go see the house without you with the listing agent. And I'm like, oh, but that's not really fair to them because then they're
wasting their time.
Yeah. And then they don't really get it. And then that's when you get into those like deals where the listing agent's shown it, but then you've shown like 30 properties. And I've had a couple of those kind of like awkward moments, but for the most part, it's been great.
Good for you.
Yeah.
What do you see yourself doing in the future? Still kicking it?
I feel like I'll always have my real estate license because, again, as we were talking about, like I could be 80 and sell a house and it's great. And you know what I would say after becoming a mother and having a house, you know, with my daughter and my partner, I understand the importance of owning something because I don't want in a couple, you know, of years for someone to say, oh, I'm going to sell this house or, but is it my absolute passion? No. Like I would be lying if I said that. I probably would say I got into real estate because I think you can make a lot of money. And I think at one point in my life, that was what I really cared about.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if this was you, but when I had my daughter, I kind of realized like nothing matters. You know?
I hear you.
It's like the money, it could be until you have that lived experience. So it's hard to explain it to friends, you know, like no amount of money would make me feel like this. And also on the opposite, I think that I thought money at one point, I remember I was like 28 and that's when I really started to like, you know, make money that I had never seen before. You know, I taught yoga and I was modeling, you know, long before that, but I wasn't making tons of money. And I remember getting that first like huge paycheck. And I promised myself, okay, I have this like goal at 30, I'm going to make this amount of money. And I remember when I hit that, just feeling like I didn't feel any different the next day. And I was like, what's all this for? And then I had my daughter and I was like, I have everything. Like I have her, I have my house, I like have a great career. And I still felt like nothing's going to give me like what, you know, inside that I need to give myself.
I love it.
You know?
Yeah. Rich in different ways.
Yeah. And I just feel like unless you have that experience, you really don't know what that feels like. Cause I have friends that's, you know, still I see them like grinding and I'm just like, I don't know what it's for. Even we were talking before, like with opening businesses and, even some people that I've worked for, like they are doing extremely well. Why do you need to continue, you know? And I get growth, like, you know, growing your business, but I feel like there's a point where it's like, at what point is it enough? Is this amount of money enough? And what is it going to make you feel like?
Sometimes I don't think it's about the money, and it's about like status and
Ego.
and just character too.
Yeah. But that's also something that like they will discover. And
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a lot of, I feel like personally I wasted, again, like I was saying, writing offers at birthday parties, dinners, like missing things, even though it was like a shorter window in my life. Like it's not like I had 30 years of doing that. I already experienced kind of like, I wish that I had just not done that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I think looking back, yeah, I just, now that I have Summer, I'm just like, oh, really? You know, everything was meant to happen in this way, but
Sure.
she's really all that matters.
And at least now you know what you don't want to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what are your passions?
I'm really passionate about, I mean, I always have been just about like, you know, health and wellness. I mean, that's kind of like a buzzword now, wellness, I find, like, which is interesting to me because you know, my mom always like raised me in this way. That was always, well, because your background, like you were probably eating healthy food, all homemade food.
Homemade food, yeah. For sure. I'm a picky eater. I'm like a bad example.
My mom, when I was growing up, always shopped at this place called the Big Carrot.
Oh yeah, I know the carrot. Fuck, like one piece of chicken breast was like $20.
I know. It's, you know what, you get what you pay for though. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pasture. It's the farmers are small farms, you
Sure.
know. So since I was younger, I've always ate like that. Like I was the kind of house where like no one wanted to go to hang out because the snacks after school were like hummus and pita and carrots and like spritzers, like no pop or anything.
Yeah.
Like I hadn't had like a fruit roll up till I was in grade 11.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Or
That's
like
cool.
Goldfish. I mean, I think when you're like that young, you're like, this sucks because why is my lunch so different than everyone else's?
Props to your mom.
Yeah. So she definitely introduced me to that. But I thought it was just normal. Like I didn't think that the way I was living was anything different. So it just kind of continued on, you know, until now. And I really just, I think especially after having Summer, I felt like there wasn't a lot of space for like more natural products for babies. I know a lot of people are like trying to get into that.
Yeah.
But my passion would be, you know, organic, healthy food, and also like thinking about what you're wearing, you know, not polyester, like cotton, linen for her wearing that too. So I'm hoping to, what my dream would be right now is that I want to start something that's like an online boutique, that like an online store where you can get everything. So it's not just for babies and for home.
I love it.
Yeah. So it's not just like right now I find myself ordering from Etsy and I'm ordering from like, you know, certain health food stores, and there's not just one place. So that's kind of like what my dream would be. And then in that I wanted to have kind of like you have like Daddy Day Club, but like a mom's group, but for moms that feel maybe a little bit like ostracized in the mainstream. You know, it's hard to talk about certain topics, I think, with moms. They can get like about daycare and vaccines.
Yeah.
I just felt like I was a part of this moms group in the East End, and I felt like whenever I would ask a question, I would kind of get like anxious because I was like, who's, you know, judging you?
Sure.
And when you're a new mom, you're already anxious about, you know, all these things. So I just want like a free space where people can talk about these things, and they don't have to like follow exactly, you know, the way that I live or any of these other moms live, but that they can ask these questions and feel like I'm not going to be, you know, like ostracized or called out or anything.
I love it.
Yeah.
Graham, is the mic okay? Okay, cool. I really love the idea that you want to start this whole like online thing. What's stopping you? Like, what do you need to do? Are you researching it? Like,
I am. I have a couple of other moms that want to do the same thing. So I feel like maybe it'd be like more of a collective. It's just that I don't have a lot of time right now because I'm home with Summer. She's 15 months. It's like full on, you know, and we don't like do screens. She's not in daycare. So it's the window, you know, the nap, like I have a 2-hour window from 12 to 2. And
I remember those days.
yeah, because your daughter doesn't nap anymore.
She's done.
How old is she?
She's going to be 4 next week. She has quiet time.
Quiet time. Oh, and I can't wait for that too. Like,
yeah, it's not the same. I'll tell you that.
It's interrupted quiet time.
Mom.
Yeah.
Mom, is it time yet?
Yeah, so I feel like I have those two. I just don't know. Like I was talking to my girlfriend yesterday, she came over. We have like a great street and she lives super close and we have all kind of like the babies outside. It's great. But we were talking like, when would we have time to do this? Like I basically don't even have time to call her to talk about it. So I don't know, maybe when she's like, I think I'm trying to get into it. I want to call it natural nesting.
I love it.
Do you like it?
I love it.
Okay, yeah.
Did you buy the domain and all that stuff?
I did.
Okay.
Yes. And I feel
An Instagram account?
Yes, I got that.
Trademark it. Check if it's trademarked
I know,
first.
I have to. We want to create like our own products too that are like a baby everything balm and like natural toothpaste. There's just like some gaps in the market.
Sunscreen would be cool.
Yeah, like something with like maybe tallow and zinc oxide, like something that's, you know, a little bit better on the skin. Because oftentimes if you research these companies, it's not actually clean. It's all greenwash. So it looks like, and it's actually, it makes me feel bad for the consumer. I don't think that any parent wants to, if they knowingly knew what they were feeding their child or what they were putting on their skin, that they would want to do that. You know, if they actually knew. I think it's just that we've been so, like if you see a product and it says organic, for example, you just think it's healthy.
Exactly. And it ends up being the company name or something.
Yeah. And a lot of the times, like, you know, Coke, General Mills, like these places own a lot of healthy, you know, and so I just hope to bring more information to it. But
I love the idea.
Yeah.
I really like it.
I'm just nervous about starting something else. Like I feel like, I don't know if this is the case for you too, but as an entrepreneur, like both my parents were, entrepreneurs. In a sense, like I remember when I was a kid and people would be like, what do your parents do? And I would tell them, and no one else was like an agent, you know? I have this, I always want to be doing, like I'd say, if you look into my Instagram, I've also wanted to start like a matchmaking service, and I wanted to just start like other things. So I feel like I'm always kind of.
I remember that phase.
Yeah, it was called Swoon. Cool. I feel like that's still a great idea.
Yeah, especially now.
Right?
I'm sure it's brutal out there.
I know. I feel like my thing was that, for example, like you would know someone that's single. I would know someone that's single. I
don't know anybody anymore. Don't talk to anybody anymore.
No, but you know what I mean? Like I felt like there was a gap in the market because it's like on Tinder or Bumble. It's like people, you would never have like a reference. Yeah. You just meet some random person on the street.
And hope they're not a serial killer.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, my worry is that I start too many things. So I just want to, this is my idea. I'm going to like sit on it for a little bit.
Good for you.
And then hopefully, you know, it would progress in some way.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
And I think it's good to sit on it because that way you can kind of figure out the cost and
well, that's it. And as you know, like there's a lot of startup costs. Even when I had good things, like, I mean, I had saved up from modeling probably like $50,000 and I spent the whole thing, you know, in those 2 years it's a lot of money to start up a place.
Research
Online,
and design itself.
Yeah, like online is probably a little bit better, obviously, than like a brick and mortar because you don't have rent.
Sure.
But you still have to have the product. You still have to get the website design is like already $5,000.
You get a free template on Shopify. I didn't pay jack shit to anybody.
Really?
Just Shopify.
So how much did it start? Did it charge? How much did it cost? Yeah.
For me, it was more research and design of the blank apparel and stuff like that. But in terms of the Shopify store, I did it myself. They give you free templates and it's relatively.
So who did your logo?
This guy named Zubair. Very nice guy. He was here on the podcast.
I like it. It's great.
$700.
Right.
So,
well, that's pretty good.
But now he wants to collect more because he thinks like,
yes,
but I told him if I didn't do well, would you be giving me back my $700?
Right.
But
so where's your stuff made, if you don't mind me?
So we switched a lot. Now our current collection is made in Portugal.
Okay. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's really great quality.
Yeah.
Our last collection was in Toronto, but I wasn't really a fan. Good garments, but you had to upsize.
Right.
So it just screwed me up a little bit. And then before that, it was made in the US.
So in Europe, are they sending you, like, how does that work?
Fully decorated.
They send it to you, the whole thing?
Yeah.
And like, how are the is it massive? Like these huge boxes coming into your place?
One box will fit 50 garments.
Okay.
It's not too bad.
And what about like taxes and duties?
Yeah, it adds up. You'll get hit probably depending like $200 a shipment of duties.
Yeah, like that. Well, yeah, that's my also concern with everything that's going on. It's like, you just don't know. I mean, Europe, you're pretty safe, I guess.
Portugal, I think there's a free trade agreement with Canada.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
But sometimes they charge you duties, sometimes they don't. And it's this unexpected cost of like, how do you price your product when you don't know what's going on?
Yeah.
And then there's always so many problems if there's like damaged garments. And
how does that work? Do you
they're pretty cool, but
like you send them a picture or something and they...
Yeah, I'm pretty laid back. I don't want anything from anybody just for the next time because I don't know. I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, you've got some good karma coming your way.
Yeah,
That's
I
for
hope
sure.
so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think most of it is like research and design and figuring out who's going to buy your stuff. Like that's the biggest problem for us. We don't sell that much.
Right.
I have fucking 100 boxes in my 1-bedroom apartment.
Do you ever feel like maybe you could branch out and sell it? Like what I think that's cool when I've like, you know, traveled is there's always like they would sell their stuff. Like they would have, you know what I mean?
Like
they
pop-up
would,
shops?
or not even pop-up shop, but they would be able to sell their merch at like a coffee shop or, you know.
Here's my thing. I don't make money off the apparel.
Right.
For me to like, I get it. And my brother says, go to the fucking flea market and all this shit. I'm not interested. I don't want to break my balls for
the flea market.
$5. My brother's like, you're going to make a killing if you go there. Trust me. It's not about
you got to try it once then. I feel like you get him to go.
I want like my nieces to go.
Yeah.
I'm down
or like
for
a
stuff
farmer's
like
market or something.
I don't want to do any of
No.
that.
Okay.
Like I feel like I've built enough where, you know, entices people to buy, but it's not the case. So my moral of my story is if you think people are going to buy, they're not. So just make sure you have 20,000 people to get like the 10 sales.
Right.
Because that's
that's the other concern that I have is like, to have an online store, you have to have things like kind of readily available. Right. And so I just want to make sure that that there is a demand, you know? So I think we would start off small. Like we were going to produce these, like maybe balm, a toothpaste, and like an antiseptic, you know, if like your kid gets scraped with something, like I just feel like there's no one purpose balm that like you could use on everything. So I think we would probably do like a sample set and see kind of if people like it.
I love it.
And then go with it. But as you know, like starting a business, I have so many ideas, but it's putting it into place. And actually if the customers come, because like, unfortunately nowadays, like people just want to buy stuff off Amazon.
Exactly. And they want free shipping.
Or free stuff. Like they just don't want to spend money on like, I feel like small businesses. It's really hard. I mean, we live in Leslieville and it's like every other store it's closing down. It's a vape shop, a weed shop, you know, something like that. And I'm just kind of ready for like a new wave of, you know, caring about where stuff comes from.
And I think that's why you'll have a great niche. Hopefully. Because people need these products.
With kids too, I just feel like there is this anxious, like when you have a baby, you feel like you need, I don't know if that happened to you, but like you're researching, like I was on Reddit in the middle of the night constantly, like maybe I need to help her sleep. I need like this, you know?
Yeah.
So I also want to ease mothers that like you really need less, you know, stuff and just good quality. So hopefully we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
How did you get into modeling?
I was 14 years old and I was at Il Fornillo on the Danforth with my family, and I got approached by Elmer Olsen.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was
Is he famous?
Yeah, like I don't even know if he's still
alive?
No, he's well, maybe actually he was pretty old, but he approached me, and so I started working with him. He had an agency here.
But he approached you and your parents?
Yeah.
And like,
I know. He actually asked told the server, I think, to ask me how old I was.
Okay.
Or something. And I was 14.
Okay.
Or maybe I was grade 9. And I was always tall growing up. So I think like you just kind of hear that, like you should be a model. Like, I don't know, any girl that's over, like, I mean, now as an adult, I'm 5'10", but I mean, any girl that's tall, I feel like you always hear that.
Got it.
And so I ended up going there and took digitals. And then from there, I switched agencies. I went to Ford when I was 16.
Cool.
And they were in Toronto. And then when I was 18, I moved to Los Angeles. And I tried it out there for 5 years.
Good for you.
Yeah. And it was great. It was a great experience. It's so expensive. Like I could have come home with money, but I didn't because, you know, there's just so many things to do all the time. There's great like restaurants and there's so many things close by. So we'd do like day trips to Santa Barbara and like we go to San Francisco. There's just so many things to do.
Cool.
So it's a great experience.
Did your parents, like, how was that discussion? They approved it? Like, what did you have to talk to them about?
You know, what's funny is No, I think that my mom was on board, but she was so, at the time my parents they were divorced. So she was like a single mom with 2 kids. And I feel like she was really focused on herself and her business and working. And so there wasn't really this like conversation. I think I grew up really fast. And I think in that, it was kind of like, do you want to do this? My mom was definitely, I would say, she's so supportive of me, and she came to visit me in LA many times. And I was also living in BC, and she came there, but it was never like, I was not a helicopter parent.
Okay.
You know, she really trusted my judgment. And in that, I had a lot of freedom to do what I wanted to do. And so with modeling, she drove me to she would drive me to my auditions. She would pick me up from castings, but she wasn't very involved. It wasn't like when I look up, to Dance Moms or something on TV, like she was never there with me on the couch.
Got it.
Do
you like that?
I don't know. I feel like it served me in a lot of ways because I'm very independent. I'm very self-sufficient, but I would say that kids need boundaries. And I feel like when kids have boundaries, they feel loved.
Okay.
And I think that as a kid, if your parent doesn't really know where you are, doesn't really care when you come home, you do feel a sense like no one really cares about me.
I like that.
Yeah. So I think it can go, the other way. I think kids that are helicoptered, they feel like just get out of my face.
Okay.
I need my own space. And I think that like parents, I don't know if you have do you have like a method that you want to parent your daughter?
It's so hard to determine what.
Like what did your parents do for you?
They were helicopters. my brothers and sisters couldn't leave after 10 p.m. They had to be home at 10.
And are you were your parents immigrants?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like no sleepovers unless it was your cousins. Like I would sneak out of my window to go out, and my mom would be waiting in my room with the door broken. So it was very strict. We turned out pretty good, but I think it's because I know somebody mentioned like fear versus, I don't know what he said last time, but we feared them. We weren't scared of them, but we feared them. But I would not do that to my kids because it sucked.
It's funny though, is they say like good parents always come out of shitty situations. And if the pain was enough for you, you will change the behavior.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the parents out there today, it wasn't enough. So they just parent how they were parented.
Yeah.
Totally. But it's funny for you. Like, I think I would have thought, oh, they really loved me if they were doing that type of behavior.
And yes, that is the case.
Right.
But it's like extra paranoid, extra anxious.
Of course.
And
yes.
I don't want to be a helicopter parent where your daughter's like screw off.
Yeah. And like scared of you.
And lying and all that shit.
And that can be dangerous too, right? Because
exactly.
If you don't know where they are. And so what is your plan for your daughter for like sleepovers and all that?
Well, no sleepovers.
No.
Unless it's their cousins.
Yeah.
You hear too many scary
Yeah.
stories.
No, I totally understand.
But I don't know when the time comes to like when she's older. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
It's funny because you don't know how you'll be.
Exactly.
Right?
And
especially with a daughter. Like we just don't even know what world we'll live in.
Maybe everybody's going to be in their own cocoon and it's all virtual. like metaverse.
Yeah.
It's already a thing. Mm-hmm. So
I mean, I hope not, because I think that social interaction is so important. And I would say like the street that we live on, I mean, it's incredible. Like it is a family street. Cool. Everyone's out there after, 4 p.m. or around like work, when work's done 4 or 5. Kids are running around. And I almost like, even me growing up, because I grew up in East York and it was always like grandparents outside. I never saw that. Like that was more in movies that I saw. And I think that like when kids are out, as they should be playing, they're not on their phone, their phones, they're not on screens.
Yeah.
They're just enjoying it. And I feel like it's safer because the neighbor knows if they're not at their house, they're at.
Exactly.
I
enjoyed those times.
Yeah. Did you have that growing up?
Totally.
Yeah. And I feel like also immigrant families, they're so close, like with your cousins and with,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know with my daughter. I mean, I'm already like, if we're at like a play center and a kid like takes her toy, I'm like,
Yeah, I get
very
it.
protective over her. But you have to also, I think with attachment, there's attachment and then there's separation, and you have to be flexible with both. So allowing your children to make the mistakes. And
Sure.
I was talking to one of my girlfriends about that the other day, that, you know, what's the fine line between like your parents watching you struggle, you know, and that's how you get confidence and, you know, to be able to face life's hardships versus always coddling them and always, you know.
I get it.
What about your parents? Like, were your parents more?
Oh, and it had an effect on me. Never allowed me to go to a funeral because I was young. So when I got older, it was fucked. I would get like anxious to go to funerals.
Really?
Because like I just didn't know what to expect and what it was going to be like and how to act and how do you present yourself to the person. So we were very much like, not like Bubble Boy movie, but like kind of. I don't know if it was Bubble Boy, or Blast from the Past when they're in the basement.
Right, like you just felt like you weren't in touch with that part of.
Yeah, like you grow,
like you
grew
missed
up,
some stuff growing up,
which had an impact on me. Just being a normal person, like, you know, even now when there's a funeral, I'm like, I don't want to go.
So interesting.
Yeah, it scares me. Like,
and what about like struggling? Do you feel like your parents, if you were struggling, are they the type of parents that are like, you'll figure it out, like, or are they wanting to solve it for you?
what's struggling mean?
You know, like, I mean, you know, when you're like in your early 20s, even 30s, and you're like, even with the real estate, like you're trying to figure things out. Are they like push through, you got it? Or are they kind of like, were your safety net, you know?
My dad was a pretty cool dad, but very strict. My dad was like, go pursue your dreams and don't worry, you can always fall back on us.
Okay.
So it was pretty cool like that. But my dad also gave you 8,000 ideas where he confused the living shit out of you. And he set me back. It's not nice to say set me back, but because I then got confused. I didn't know what to do.
Right. Too many options.
Yeah. They would then like put these little ideas in your head.
You can be, right.
And then it was just like, okay, but that's not what I want to do. And then do I do what I want to do? And so I would rather have a little bit more freedom. I think growing up and just being able to, I made a lot of mistakes and they watched it and it's fine.
Right.
And he got me out of
But were they always there you could fall back on?
Yeah. But I don't know if sometimes they would make comments where it's like, I told you so comments.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Like those are the worst, I would say, because it's also like just unnecessary.
Sure.
You know, they also made mistakes we just didn't get to witness.
Oh, totally.
You know?
Yeah. My dad traveled 6 months out of the year for our whole lives.
Right.
So it's like, you know, if they're commenting.
That must have been hard.
I don't know, when that's all you know, I don't think it's hard. But then when he retired and he's at home, it gets harder because
like a new father.
He's like, oh, where are you? Why aren't you hanging out with me? So it's a different relationship. And then
so your mom took care of you.
My mom took care of us.
All three.
Right. So stay at home mom.
Yeah.
And so now it's different when they're trying to give you advice about kids and it's like.
Right. Which is, I find like so interesting right now is witnessing my mom with my daughter.
Oh,
I don't know if, like I think that it's such a different relationship. It's almost like they get to redo
their fuck ups.
It just makes me laugh because I'm like, where was this?
Yeah.
You know? But it is their redemption. And I think that for my mom and me, like it healed a lot for me to be able to witness my mom being there for my daughter so much. Like it's been such a beautiful gift. I feel like, I don't know if, you know, it sounds like you had a pretty good relationship with your parents, but for me, there was a lot of, there was a lot of hard moments between my mom and I. I think also when it is your primary caregiver, and my dad was kind of out of the picture a lot of the times, a lot of it fell on her. And so our relationship got more strained.
Okay.
So I think I never thought I would heal that because you can never really go back in time. If something happened when you were 6 or 9, like that's gone, but it does stay with you.
Yeah.
I always wanted this kind of like redemption with my mom. And I feel like seeing my daughter experience my mom fully present, showing up for her has healed it because I don't need it now. It's just for her.
That's cool.
You know?
So you're like the divorce had a big impact on you?
Oh yeah. I feel like if you talk to most people that parents are divorced, it's like a defining moment of their life.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that it really forces you to grow up, which is scary because I feel like childhood is so sacred.
Yeah.
And my parents, they broke up a lot of times before they got officially divorced, but it started probably around, I think they broke up when I was like 2, 4, 6, 8, and then around 8 is when they kind of got divorced. Yeah, it's heartbreaking when I even, as a real estate agent, like oftentimes I'll show places to couples that are divorced, and sometimes they'll bring their child, and it's hard.
Yeah.
I think it's a very grown up thing to acknowledge that your parents are breaking up. And I think that my wish is that for people that do that they're more, for me, it was kind of like my dad left and there was no kind of conversation. There was no therapy. There was no talking things out. But I think if you can do it in a way it's better for the child to kind of explain what's going on. But a lot of parents just think, they just kind of think it's like adult talk and let's just, keep them out of it. But yeah, it was really impactful on me. And I mean, I think for me, it was a different situation because my parents themselves weren't healthy in the relationship. So it was like, had to happen. But I'm very mindful, even with Summer, my daughter, with my partner and I don't want to argue in front of her and I don't want her. It's just adult things,
Sure.
And at the same time, I want to see her see what repair looks like.
I like it.
That's really important to see, like if you're in an argument with your spouse, for your children to see you repair that. And that's really life, right? That's what happens. But I think that either you fight in front of them and they don't see that, or you fight behind closed doors and then they think that everything's just perfect. So finding that balance.
I think that's crazy that you mentioned that, because I do remember my parents not really fighting a lot, but then if you saw someone sleeping on the couch or in the other room, you'd ask questions why. So it's interesting.
Yeah. And I think that I have totally. And I think that I had friends growing up where like you would hear that they got divorced and you were like, what? They seemed so perfect, like some friends' parents. And now I know that's probably why. So I do want her to see the repair. I think that of course there's like adult topics that I don't want to,
Sure.
But I want her to see how people work through arguments in a healthy way.
For sure.
Yeah.
Would you have another kid?
I would. It's funny. I feel like we chatted about that when Summer was only like 2 months, which I was like, no, this is the hardest thing ever. My partner always laughs because I wanted 4 kids originally.
God.
And I wanted 4 kids because I think that I thought you could only get that feeling that I have right now with 4 children, and maybe you feel the same because I know you guys are one and done, right?
I have everything I need from the one, and I don't find any reason to want to have more, because then it would take me away from that one.
And I totally agree with that. And I think that I really would ask myself why I want to have another child. Because I think a lot of people, and I was included in this because I was like constantly Googling like, are one children like happy? I don't know if you've ever done that, because you get nervous if you have siblings, right? I have a sister, that they wouldn't have the same experience as you. But I think that exactly to your point, like I'm so filled up with her and I don't feel like I'm not looking for anything else at this point.
Yeah.
I think that I wouldn't say no because I don't know. I think that I would have to there's more work on myself that I want to do before I have another one. I think that to have a child, you have to be really patient.
100%.
There's so many skills that you need. And like, there's such a mirror for you. I always go back to that. Like my daughter is constantly showing me where I need to improve, with patience, with everything in life and wanting to be a better person. Like, I don't know about you, but I used to kind of like, I think I used to be able to like kind of go in the gray area of life sometimes, but having her made me feel like, no, I want to do the right thing.
What's the gray area?
I just mean
like blue, like
blue?
maybe
you got a parking ticket and you like something like that, or that you just, weren't doing things like perfectly. Like maybe for my taxes, I wouldn't, do my taxes exactly on time. Okay. Just like a little bit of a gray area of life.
Okay.
But now I want to show up in, a way that's like, I am doing the right thing. Of course I'm not perfect, but I want to do the best I can. And I feel like she's such a mirror for me that if I'm like getting impatient, like in the car at traffic or something, I just look at myself and I'm like, what am I doing?
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. She starts repeating what you said to the driver next door. Telling me.
Yeah. So I feel like the answer is that I would want one. I just don't know. I have more work to do on myself, and I need, my capacity right now is filled. Like I'm home with her, I'm working. It's a lot. So I think if she was like in kindergarten, then maybe I would start to think about having another one. but I think also with parenting, like there's parenting and then there's having kids. And like for you, it seems like you're also really involved. And I want to be really involved with her. I wonder sometimes about when you have multiple kids, like, can you really give them the same amount of like attention and care?
I think you're splitting it up between you and your partner.
Yeah.
And you don't end up even seeing them anymore.
I know. And then what I worry about is like, I love spending time with her, and that relationship would change. Right. And I'm sure you've heard like the sibling, because are you close with your siblings?
Very much.
And so do you ever feel like some people that I talk to, they say, I couldn't imagine I would not be able to survive in this world without them, you know? Like,
but here's the thing, not everybody has the same experience as you. My cousins, they don't talk to each other.
Yeah. I know. And I mean, I even, my sister and I are 5 years apart, and I love her. Right now, we're not very close. I love her a lot, but we were never, I don't know if it was that people always say, oh, it's the 5 years. Like, I don't know about that. I have other friends that are really close with their siblings.
Mine are 7 and 8 older than me.
Apart.
Yeah.
And you're close with them. So I think I use that as an excuse for a long time. We also have different dads. I don't know if that had anything like nature versus nurture. I don't know. But we're not very close. And so when people say that to me, I say, well, you know, I'm not very close to my sister. So she could grow up and it's, you know, and sometimes siblings are harder on people. Like I have friends that couldn't wait to leave their house to not be, you know, near their sister or their brother, right?
Overprotective brother.
Yeah. Or just like, you know, your little sister and you're annoying or something, you know? Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, but you're for sure one and done.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
And patience.
And what does your
thing.
parents think about that?
Your parents just unrealistic wanting.
They want you to have like 10
1,000.
kids. I know. My mom's like, when are you having the next one? And I'm like, okay, relax.
Yeah,
you know?
It's not even parents, like everybody at work, and just, I think my not motto, but anybody who wants you to have more kids want you to feel the wrath of having more than one kid because they have more than one kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
Because who the hell would want more than one kid? And especially if you don't have like a very big support system of someone coming every day to watch your kid to allow you to breathe.
Yeah. Yeah. I also feel that way like about daycare is a lot of people are like, for me, like, oh, have another one. And I'm like, well, I'm home with like, you don't even know what it's like to be home with, you know, the one every day. Imagine having like, and I see it. Some of the stay-at-home moms that I'm friends with have 3 or 4 kids that they're home with. Like it's a lot of work. Totally. And I think you're right in the terms of, I mean, it's funny because some of my friends are having kids now, and like even because you messaged me when she was like only small, and you're like, it gets better, don't worry, you know, because it is like I was like felt like I was shot out of a cannon or something. Like I remember driving home being like so anxious and like you're almost like, what did you do? You know, in a certain way, like you're so happy, but like it's such an intense experience.
How was pregnancy?
I loved being pregnant. The first 3 months I was like super sick. Was your wife sick too? Because you guys had a girl, right?
I think she was pretty good
she was
compared
fine.
to what other stories you hear.
Yeah, like I wasn't like, I mean, I went to the hospital once because I couldn't keep anything down. But like after that passed, like after 10 weeks or 12 weeks when that passed, I was totally fine. I loved being pregnant. It was more that I think that you like get so excited for the pregnancy and then you forget that you're having like you forget the other part of it. Labor was like so quick. I remember we went to Sugo like the night, do you know that restaurant?
Yeah.
It's so good. We went there the night before and we're like, I just started feeling cramps. Like I had such a good sleep, like 10 hours sleep. I wake up at like 8 a.m. and I'm like, oh, like I kind of feel like some cramps. Like it couldn't be though, because it was only one day after her due date. And everyone always tells you like, oh, you're going to go 2 weeks over. So we're just like hanging out. And then I was like, oh, like they're starting to get really intense. Like we might have to go to the hospital just to check it out. Nothing like serious. And then my partner starts like having a shower and he's like washing his hair. He never washed, you know, guys don't like shampoo their hair. He's like shampooing and conditioning his hair. And I was like at the door being like, let's go. Like, what are you doing? Anyways, he's also driving. Like I've never seen him drive this slow. Like he's like, oh, look at the neighborhood. He's like, you know, looking at the houses. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, and of course we get to the hospital and they're like admitted me right away. My labor was only like, I think I got admitted at 11 a.m. and I had the baby at 5:30. So I was just, and I think that it's funny because a lot of women say like, oh, that's amazing. I was in labor for 24 hours, 48 hours. But actually it was so quick that I was shocked, you know, because I didn't get that time to, like, I'm sure with like, did they rush, they kind of rush you in, they like get you on the table and they start like, okay, we're going to start to breathe. And I was like, what? Like,
Can I
I don't,
invest?
yeah, like it was just, and that's why I think after like postpartum for me, I was really anxious because I think I was just so shocked that it happened so quickly.
Okay.
You know, the whole, like the birth, and it was a beautiful birth and it went great. But I think I was so shocked that when I got home, I was like, oh, I thought I'd have kind of more time to just process, you know? How long was your labor?
I'm not sure, but it wasn't long.
Were you there?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
I think we got there at like 11 p.m. and we were gone by, they make you stay 24 hours, but the labor I don't think was long.
Like when did you have the baby? Early in the morning kind of thing?
No, it was in the evening.
In the evening, okay.
Like 11 p.m.
No, but when did she like have the baby?
I want to say, I don't know, like 6 a.m. or something.
And were you in it, like sweating and pushing with her?
It was COVID, and they initially didn't want to let me in, and she was screaming like, "Get him in right now!"
Yeah.
And then COVID was just a shitty experience to have a baby, in my opinion. But
so was it? Was it 2020? 2021?
2021.
Yeah. Oh, I can't imagine. Like I had some friends that did that with the mask and
Yeah.
and it's like
It was very excessive.
Yeah.
The nurse was literally like 200 feet away from us, wanting to pick up our like food tray and like making us wear a mask. We're all the way in the other corner. It's like, we're not even close to you. COVID really fucked everybody up.
I know. Oh, that's like, that experience is not.
Yeah,
then it must have been hard because were you still on lockdown when
couldn't do visitations. And the whole experience was shit, you know.
Yeah.
But
I know. Well,
whatever.
you got through it.
Yeah.
But I've heard that when it just doesn't sound like a great, you know, experience.
So what's postpartum?
I would say like, I'm still in it. I would say like, you know, after you give birth to 2 years, they say really for your hormones to stabilize. But for me, I definitely was very anxious. I would say, yeah, was your wife anxious?
I don't think so.
No. Yeah. I just feel like for me, I was really overwhelmed, would be like.
Sure.
I was very overwhelmed. It was definitely not what I had expected. I think that, again, people focus on like the baby, and of course she was healthy, which was great. And you focus on the pregnancy. Like even as a woman, you're like, oh, I'm going to get stretch marks. So like every day I'm like lubing up my belly and I'm like doing all these stretches and everything, but no one really prepares you for when you take the baby home. And I feel like I was so overwhelmed with how much like work it was. I mean, I had all these ideas, like I was going to be, you know, showing house. Like I just had this whole fantasy in my head of what it was going to be like. Even with support, like the baby really needs you. And I'm like, as the dad, you know, he could help, but I was breastfeeding for, you know, 10 hours a day, sometimes just on the couch.
Wow.
So for me, I would say that until 6 months, it was like very, very hard. And I have some friends where, you know, like they feel like the newborn, they like loved it. But for me, I would say until 6 months, I was like pretty in it. And I think honestly, what surprised me the most was that physically, because I modeled for so long, like I modeled for a good 10 years plus, like probably around 12 years, I was so attached to the way that I looked. And to have the baby and then you're still looking like you had, like, you know, you still have a lot of weight. Like I had gained 55 pounds, which is a lot of weight. And I just was so shocked that they don't talk about that too, because I think you see women just bouncing back, right? Like some of my friends are skinnier than they were before they had the baby. And that was not my experience. And I feel like that was really hard for me I had to really accept myself, you know, in my body. I'm happy that like now, you know, I feel much more like myself, but it took me like a good year. So that was definitely like a shock, but also having Summer made me, I feel like like everything is perfect as it is, you know, like I think in the modeling industry, like they were dyeing my hair when I was 14, dyeing my eyebrows. Like I was already working out at 14, like, you know, doing all these modifications to my body. And I feel like after having Summer, and like, I'm sure you had the experience, you know, when you hold your baby, it's like, they're so perfect just as they are. Yeah. Like I felt like, why am I doing all these things to myself? You know, like as women do, dyeing your hair, you know, and now like Botox and like all those things are, you know, very prominent. And I just had this moment, like this whole year of kind of unraveling and coming back to really who I am, because it's when I look at my daughter, I'm like, I would die if she did anything to herself. You know, like
I get it.
do you know what I mean? Like
get it.
even wanting to like dye her hair, I would be like, no, your hair is so beautiful. So that was the one thing that shocked me the most, I would say about postpartum.
I really like that.
Yeah. Do you feel like has your daughter cut her hair yet?
We just did like an inch because it was getting so tangled.
It's so beautiful though. I saw it. It's so long.
It's so long. My wife cut her hair just a little bit. Like I said, it was just getting too
so
tangled.
no, so like your wife did it?
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Cause it's also like a big thing for a child. They don't really, did she understand kind of what?
Yeah. I don't know if my wife cut a little bit of her hair in front of her and stuff like that.
To like show her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause it's such like, even that, like I could not cut her hair right now. Like I just would be so emotional because they're just so perfect.
Yeah.
You know,
and the curls are different when you like.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yes. But your daughter has a lot of hair.
Yeah.
Like it's beautiful.
She really does.
Did she come out with a full head of hair?
I think so.
You know how some babies, it's like, looks like a wig or something.
Yeah. It wasn't that intense, but she did have a lot of hair and she's really tall.
Really?
I think she's like 90%.
Oh, wow.
Of
That's
her age,
amazing. Yeah, she's so cute.
Yeah, I love her. And you said you don't do screens. How old is your daughter now?
15 months.
Good for you.
Yeah, I know. Like it wasn't even, again, like none of this was really planned. I feel like it was more off my like intuition.
Amazing.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't know about you, but like have to be very mindful about being on my phone too around.
That's the hardest part.
Because the thing is how can you tell them not to do something if you're not doing it? It's the same with like patience and anything. Like if she's going to see me react in a certain way, when I try to tell her, can you have some patience for mom? And she's like, well, what about 2 minutes ago when you were like that? So I'm always trying to like embody what I, to try to be that. Of course, again, not perfect at all, but just trying to embody that for her. So if for phones, like me and my partner, I mean, like men, I find it's like they're watching like golf or sports highlights constantly. But he's mindful too of that now because at her, like, I don't know if your daughter, she knows what a phone is and stuff. Like even Summer, I noticed her like picking up the phone and kind of pretending to talk. And I'm like, this is crazy, at such a young age.
Oh, I get it. Well, she still hasn't watched TV yet anyways.
No. Does your daughter watch TV?
No, I meant mine.
Oh, she hasn't?
Not yet.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about like Miss Rachel or?
No TV.
Yeah. So
No
nothing.
screens.
Yeah. And do you feel like it's a difference? Like does she have friends that do watch TV?
At daycare.
And do you notice like a difference?
It's really hard to tell.
Right.
But of course you think your kid is the smartest one of all and all that stuff, right?
Oh, already like,
yeah.
She like has a little ball with like a stick and I'm like, oh my God, she's going to be an athlete,
Yeah.
But as it should be.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like, even with like parenting, like you should be better than what your parents did. And your daughter should be a better parent than you. Like you should think that of them,
I'm with you. I'm trying to work on my patience.
Yeah.
It's hard because you don't know if you're not like if you're yelling, if you don't yell, is she going to come out to be like a brat and not listening? There's a fine line, but
it's so hard. That's exactly what I feel like I'm going through right now. I mean, she's only 15 months, so it's not a lot of like, I'm sure you're communicating with your daughter in a different way. But for me, I'm so curious about that stage because it's like you want to, for example, like even now she understands what no is and she like has a little tantrum in her own way, like stomps her feet kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's hard because in some ways I'm like, does this really matter? Like she doesn't have to wear socks. You know what I mean? Like something like this.
Pick your battles.
Yes. And then in other ways, like if she wanted, like she loves butter. It's so funny. But sometimes I'm like, you can't have that much butter because it's bad for your stomach, but she doesn't understand obviously. But it's like this fine line of exactly what you're saying is like, you want to parent in a way where like they're respecting you and there's boundaries, but you also don't want to be like too strict.
Yeah.
Where they feel like they don't have any freedom to be themselves.
I get it.
So
we're running out of time. I'm sad.
I know I could sit here and chat forever.
We usually end the podcast with 2 questions.
Okay.
The first is, if you can have anyone perform at your wedding, who would it be?
Zach Bryan.
Is he country artist?
Yeah, he's like my partner introduced him to me actually. He's like very famous now, but when I started to date my partner, like no one knew about him. I would say he's like country like folky.
Cool.
Yeah.
If you can have anybody come on this show from your circle, who would it be?
Oh, I feel like you should get like a therapist,
I would love to.
right? Like
You
I
know
feel
anyone?
like no, not personally. I love this one therapist. Her name's Erica Cosmiar, I think. I read a lot of her stuff on like attachment and she's incredible. She might actually,
Yeah.
who knows? But I feel like that would be a good for parenting.
I get it.
So you can ask them kind of more direct questions and maybe stuff that like you're curious about too, or your viewers are curious about.
Totally.
You know, I have so many questions sometimes.
Okay. I'm going to ask you the same question.
Yeah.
If you could have anyone from your circle.
Oh,
come
my
here.
circle?
Yeah.
I feel like you ought to get my partner on here.
What's his name?
Matt Finn. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel
Would
like
he come on?
he would. And he's just like, he thinks that I talk a lot, but he talks a lot
Okay.
too. So,
Let's set it up.
Yeah.
I'd love to have him.
yeah. And I feel like you could talk more like sports and also being a dad. You know, I feel like that's the one thing is, which I loved about your, what you're doing here when you have the dads on, because the thing is like, of course you have like camaraderie, you know, but to really go a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Because you guys are experiencing a whole wave of emotions too.
Totally.
That's not really talked about a lot. So
I like having moms as well, just to kind of
balance it out
and, you know,
Not too
fact
many
check
dudes.
what we're
Yeah.
saying. So
I know. No, it's been great.
I appreciate you coming on. This
Of
was
course.
really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to hear about your new business.
Oh, yes.
I think
I
that'd
know
be
I have to send
awesome.
you some stuff.